Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com, coming to you with my Monday mashup video here. I'm going to chat about some general betting tips with a very, very light Monday night card across really all sports. Just a couple of NHL games, a handful of college basketball games, most of which a conference that wasn't even lined up until this year, and then a small NBA card as well. So I'm going to give you some tips on what to do with days like this and also with games that you don't have action on. Over at BangTheBook.com, we got a lot of phenomenal stuff going on right now. I, in fact, posted 3 props pieces here today. One with game prop bets, one with Patriots prop bets, and both for both player and team, and then also one for the Rams with both player and team prop bets. We'll be posting a novelty and entertainment props piece tomorrow. Also posting a Waste Management Phoenix Open preview here today as well. But we'll have wall-to-wall coverage for Super Bowl 53, including different spins on prop bets, different thoughts on how the game may play out, all that type of stuff, to go along with our daily and weekly stuff over at BangTheBook.com, our situational betting articles for the NBA and NHL and college basketball, Kyle Hunter's daily college basketball picks, daily NBA picks, game previews, game write-ups, all kinds of good stuff over at BangTheBook.com. So please make sure that you're checking all that out on a daily basis over there. We'll have you fully covered for all of the sports betting markets and all the things that are going on here this week. Of course, be prepared for a couple more videos from Brian Blessing here early in the week and a couple later on in the week. Kyle Hunter with a Wednesday video on sharp money, Friday video prepping you for the college basketball weekend, and I'll be here Monday through Friday with videos, and then also taking a look on Super Bowl Sunday at some of the stuff going on with the big game between the Patriots and the Rams. Whew. All right, a lot of stuff going on. Very, very busy time of year, to say the least. But as far as today goes, and as far as really any day goes from a betting standpoint, there are a few things I want to pass along here on today's Monday mashup video where, again, I just kind of riff about whatever the hell I want. You know, even though you don't have action on games, it's still very important to follow along, check the box scores, and perhaps most importantly, see what goes on in the betting market with that game. A lot of times you will pick up on teams that are getting regular sharp action, and maybe you can look to play the overnights with those teams, or at the very least have a good idea of where money is going to come in with some of these clubs that are out there. You know, it doesn't matter if it's the NBA, NHL, college basketball. You will see sharp bettors go back to the well over and over on some of these teams, or maybe fade certain teams on a regular basis. So even if you don't have action on the card or on a specific game, I would say it's even more important to follow along and watch the games that you haven't bet on than it is to watch the games that you have bet on. And I know for a lot of people out there that are, novices in this industry or just doing it for fun, one of the reasons why you do it is because you want some rooting interest on a game that you wouldn't otherwise care about. And I certainly understand that. And if that's what you want to do with your bankroll, you're fully entitled to do that, obviously. But if you want to do this as a supplement or, maybe take it to the next level, you really want to pay attention to games that you don't have action on, because you may find something that you can use to your advantage in that team's upcoming game, or maybe when those teams have a rematch, something like that. You want to look for statistical outliers. Teams that maybe shoot really poorly from the three-point line against a team, maybe they get that team again here in short order. Maybe you can expect a little bit of a different outcome there. Maybe you're looking at teams that, games with big strength of schedule differences, as we've talked about before in college basketball. Maybe a team's played a weak schedule, but they are actually a pretty good team. And you can pick up on that from watching that game or checking out their box scores regularly. This is a long-term game. The sports betting industry is a long-term proposition. Everyone will go on short-term hot streaks. Everyone will go on short-term cold streaks. But the people that have success with this over the long haul have success with it because of how observant they are, because they adhere to proper bankroll management techniques, but also because they're paying attention constantly. They're always looking for value out there. Maybe there's a team that all of a sudden has made a tempo change in college basketball, and it takes the market a couple of games to pick up on that. Well, if you've been paying attention, going back through the box scores, looking back at how a team played on a given night, maybe that's something that you pick up on. So like I said, even if you don't have action on a game, and today's a very good example of this because there are 2 NHL games, I think 5 NBA games, a few major conference college basketball games, but a lot of stuff in the MEAC and the SWAC that a lot of people just don't know those conferences. It's a good time to sit back, relax, and observe. watch. Look at what happens with Tuesday overnights. Lines already posted for tomorrow's games in the NHL, college basketball, and the NBA. Take stock of where those lines are and then see where they moved going into tomorrow morning. See where they move going into the afternoon as some of the bigger limit bettors get involved. And then, of course, see where those games are right before puck drop or kickoff, something like that. Information is very, very important when it comes to this business. So if you've got the time to sit back and reflect and get some perspective and look at what's going on with some of these teams and some of these games, it can be very, very beneficial for you. Look tonight, for example, down in the SWAC. I threw a couple of fun, there's a couple of fun money games out there that I've talked about with some of my friends and other people in the industry. But what we're mostly doing here is trying to find some value from a future standpoint for the conference tournaments. So we're looking for opportunities to see, where these teams match up well, which teams in the conferences they'll match up well against. And then that gives us an idea when we play the conference tournaments and you've got hedging opportunities and things of that sort. So it's very important to always be paying attention, always be observant. We talked with Kyle Hunter last week on Bang the Book Radio. He missed a couple of days because his son had some medical appointments and, obviously family, real life gets in the way of this business here. But one of the things that he talked about, even as a veteran member of this business, is that it's very hard to get back in the flow of things. So when you look at a card like tonight, don't just shrug it off. Don't just pass it off to the side because you maybe played one or two games. Use this as an opportunity to look at some teams that you haven't been betting on or some teams that you normally wouldn't concern yourself with, because over the long term, you're going to store away some kind of nugget that will help you. So again, I think it's even more important to follow along with or even watch the games that you don't have action on. The reason that you bet a team or bet a game is because you thought you had an edge on that team. You thought you had something that you could use. Well, maybe that is an edge going forward. Maybe it's not. But it will help you to find other edges on other teams and on other games that you can use in the future. So I think it's very important with days like today, with very small cards, to keep in mind that there's always something you can pick up from a game. Always. Again, if you don't bet some big marquee game on Tuesday night, or you don't have anything in the NBA or the NHL, pay attention to what's going on with the betting market, with those games, with those box scores. See if you can find some kind of opportunity that you can use to your advantage in the very near future. So that's the thing I wanted to point out here today on this Monday Mashup video, is that you always want to be soaking up information. You always want to be a sponge, because you never know when some angle or some nugget you've uncovered can help you cash a bet in the future. I'm Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com.